Next on WVUA 23 News, scattered storms have made an appearance once again. I'll have more on the forecast in a few minutes.
Tonight, we lead with weather. We're joined by Molly Starr for the first look at the forecast. Molly, should people expect some rain tonight?
Carly, we've seen these storms pop up throughout the day. Now, right now we're seeing a scattered storm mostly across Tuscaloosa County or making its way into Tuscaloosa County, but those should be dwindling as the afternoon and evening hours creep in. You should see some sunshine for the morning, but unfortunately those temperatures are sticking around. If we look at our seasonal directory, you are here at the center of the sun. I'll have more details on what that temperature and heat index will look like coming up in just a little bit. We got hot weather continuing for the weekend. A closer look at the forecast coming up after the break. Scattered storms are here once again for our afternoon. Now, looking from Demopolis, we can see one of those storms off in the distance up north. Temperature here currently 94 degrees. It's another hot day out there again. Now, we see some cooler areas. We're seeing 70s on the board right now, 84 here in Tuscaloosa, but Linden, 95 degrees. Why are we seeing that? Is because of that rain chance moving through. But the other news is the heat index. So while we're seeing temperatures in the low 90s, those temperatures are feeling like the mid 100s, about 100 to 110. It's awfully hot and muggy out there now. With those rain storms moving through, we're seeing those temperatures drop back down. So the heat index isn't reading as high as it was earlier. In Tuscaloosa, it was 90 degrees. It felt like 108 degrees. It was awfully hot, and that's the story of across the board. So currently, we're not seeing too big of the heat index. Now, areas down here, we're seeing 109. We saw 112 earlier. It was awfully hot. But that rain chance is the biggest news for the afternoon today. That heat index is also going to continue over the next few days. Now, it's going to cool off a little bit as we do have some temperatures cooling off as we move through the weekend, but we'll take a look at that in just a little second. But the rain. Now, we're seeing these widespread storms across most of western into central Alabama. We've been seeing them since about 2 o'clock, a little bit before is when they started popping up and rolling through. If we zoom in here to Pickens County, we're seeing this storm that is under a severe thunderstorm warning. Now, we're just expecting downpours, thunder, lightning, the typical summer storm effects, but here in Reform and Gorda, they're about to see some heavy rainfall over the next few minutes, but the rain chances are not going away anytime soon. Now, we're not seeing as high of a chance into next week, but we're still seeing about 40 to 50% chance as we move throughout the next few days into the weekend. Let's take a look at what this rain can look like as we move through the rest of today into your Friday. So currently about there. Now, this is our model, so we're not going to see the exact same thing that we see on our radar, but we're seeing scattered storms throughout western Alabama. We move into the evening, late midnight tonight, should be pretty clear. A few partly cloudy skies to mostly clear, just that typical clear out of the rain, and headed out the door tomorrow, that sun should be shining. We're seeing a few clouds out there once again, and then here comes the storms as we move into the afternoon. It's the same cycle we're typically seeing. So taking a look at that extended forecast, like I said, we don't have as high of a chance of rain every day, especially as we move into next week, but this weekend, 40-50% chance. Slight cool down as we enter Sunday into Monday, but those heat index will still read into the mid to upper 90s, even when the temperatures are in the mid 80s. The good news with this is none of this is severe weather except for severe thunderstorms, but as we move through hurricane season this year, download our WVUA 23 app and keep up to date with weather coverage and updates, as well as our social media platforms. Search Richard Scott, WVUA 23. More rain, more heat. That's just the story of the summer.
Same old, same old.
I know, nothing's changing really.
Okay, well, thanks, Molly, for that weather update. Let's turn now to our sports director, Gary Harris, to see what's been going on in sports. Gary. Final sports?
Yeah, a lot of people text me on social or message me on social media and call me here at the station because we try to cover one practice at a time, but
Yes.
they want to know the schedule. So no practice tomorrow, but both days, Saturday and Sunday, and then Monday is Media Day. And I mentioned that because traditionally Media Day has been on Sunday.
Yeah.
But media and selected fans through Alabama's incentive program will be there on Monday. So we're going to have a busy weekend of Alabama football, but we do get a break tomorrow.
Well, great. And Molly, it looked like we had some lower temperatures.
Yeah, slight cool down.
Get a
Only
break
about
from the heat.
mid 80s. But don't worry, it'll still feel like the mid 90s, upper 90s for those days.
We've got some rain chances headed into the weekend as well, so we might see those temperatures actually based off does that rain hit us, because we're seeing some cool downs with those rain chances, but the heat index is still hitting us pretty hard.
Okay, well, that's going to do it for us for now. We're always on with updates on WVOA23.com and our social media platforms. Hope everyone has a great night.